This car right behind me is the GWM Tank 300. Now, if you remember when we were in the Bangkok International Motor Show sometime earlier this year, we took a look at the Tank 500, but this one, the 300, and this, instead of looking like a Land Cruiser, this one looks a little bit more like it could be a fighter for the Toyota FJ Cruiser or even the Jeep Wrangler. Just look at this thing, especially in this gray color. It really looks very off-road oriented. Here's what we know so far. So, GWM has not released pricing yet, but reservations will be open by November. So if you want to get your hands on one, go reserve very soon. Now let's walk around the car. Over at the front, you have a very unique grille. Even the logo is not the typical GWM grille, so this is a very specific tank emblem. Your lights also very retro looking with those round things, and the DRLs, they kind of just cut in front of those round headlamps. Over at the side, blacked out 19-inch rims, very thick tires. We don't have the exact Philippine specification, but as far as I know, international versions wise, 33 degrees approach angle, 34 degrees departure angle. You have square side mirrors, and now on the side too, you'll see just how thick and rugged looking these step boards are. Let's climb on inside right here. And the interior, it's not really what you would expect. You might think that these off-road oriented vehicles will have a very rugged interior too, but no, this feels very premium. You get soft materials here on the dashboard, even over at the side. The steering wheel is also leather wrapped. You get paddle shifters. Seems like 12.3-inch screens probably. Yeah, dual setup too. You have a very nice clock by the middle and a very unique gear selector by the center too. And over at the top, you even get your own sunroof. Now for the rear, is it spacious? Let's check it out just very quick. There's a notebook inside. There's a very nice grab handle, and wow, the seats feel very comfortable, very spacious too, but I am only 5'6" tall though, so if you're a little bit taller and the driver's a little bit tall too, well, the car isn't exactly the longest, but yeah, this is pretty good for an off-road oriented vehicle. Oh, infinity speakers too. For the rear, what I really love here is that even your spare tire, it's also Cooper branded just like the rest of your 4 other tires. And this is something very rare nowadays. How do you open this? There you go. The tailgate opens over at the side, and you can see too that space is also pretty good. And interestingly enough, it gets carpets, which again, these cars in this class, they usually just get plastic floors. That way you can just hose them down. But yeah, this one, it gets carpets. And if you lift this up, there seems to be a subwoofer of some sort. So I haven't tested out the audio system yet, but oh yeah, infinity sound system plus a subwoofer, that will be amazing. Now we've been given the chance to drive the GWM Tank 300, and the biggest highlight of this car is the fact that it's called the Tank. And at first I was wondering, why is it called the Tank? That's because apparently, just like a real tank, as in what they use for war, when you go on a tight turn, like if you're gonna make a 3-pointed turn, the inner wheels will actually brake. Again, just like a real tank. That way you get an even smaller turning radius. Now, that aside, engine-wise, we don't have the exact specifications yet, but we would expect some sort of like a 2-liter turbocharged gasoline engine. Power should be around 200 plus horsepower, torque, maybe almost 400 Newton meters. Transmission, probably again an 8-speed ZF transmission, and if you know a lot of BMWs with ZF transmissions, you're gonna know that they are very smooth. And immediately, even in low city speeds, I can really feel that this car is a very smooth vehicle. For the ride and the steering of the GWM Tank 300 too, again, you would expect like these off-road oriented vehicles to be a little bit on the soft side, and yes, that is still true. But it's not as floaty as what you would usually expect with a lot of cars like these. It doesn't really give you a lot of that motion sickness inducing feel to it. The steering too, since this uses a newer electronic power assisted steering system, it is pretty light. And also immediately I would notice here that a lot of the cars in this segment, once again, you don't have great visibility, but as it is, visibility seems to be fine. I can even see where my fenders are. Let's try out just a quick bit of its acceleration from a standstill right here in 3, 2, 1. Okay, there's a little bit of a turbo delay, but once you get past that, that engine does kick. You can really tell that this has at least 300 plus Newton meters of power. What this car doesn't have though is the V6 note that you would get from the likes of the FJ Cruiser. Now, will that take away from the experience too much? Honestly, no, because what you get instead is a very relaxed car to drive. While you don't get any of that exciting rumble from a V6 engine of old, it's just so serene in here. And usually cars like this with a boxy design, they're going to be a little bit loud, but truly, the GWM Tank 300 feels very refined. Now, as of the filming of this video, we don't have almost any specifications yet, nor the pricing, but as they come, I will be updating in this video or maybe just commenting down below in the comment section, so do stay tuned for that.